Alright, so I don't even know how to start this without sounding completely insane. But I swear, everything I'm about to say actually happened. And to this day, I still don't have a rational explanation for it. So, a little background. My name's Mark, I'm 32, and I travel a lot for work. I'm not some thrill seeker. I don't go looking for weird experiences. I'm the kind of guy who books the same airline, the same hotel chain, eats at the same 3 restaurants every time I visit a city. I like predictability, so when I flew to Hong Kong last year for a business trip, I did what I always do. I booked a decent hotel, nothing fancy, just a solid 4-star place near the city centre. The kind of place where you know the bed will be clean, the AC will work, and nobody's going to bother you. I landed late, around 11 p.m, totally exhausted. The taxi ride to the hotel was uneventful, but the weirdness started the moment I got to the front desk. The receptionist was this older woman, maybe mid-50s, polite, but hesitant. When I gave her my name, she typed it in, then frowned at the screen. "You booked through the company?" she asked. "Yeah," I said. "Is there a problem?" She didn't answer, just glanced at a younger guy behind her. They whispered in Cantonese. The only word I caught was bu hao, which I knew from my limited Mandarin meant bad, or not good. At this point, I was too tired to care. I just wanted to shower and sleep. Eventually, she handed me my key. Room 909. "You'll be in room 909, top floor." Simple enough, right? Yeah, that's what I thought too. The first weird thing? The elevator skipped my floor. I pressed 9, but it went straight to 10 instead. The doors opened to an empty hallway, dimly lit, silent. I stepped out, confused. Maybe I misheard, but as I turned around, the elevator doors shut behind me, and the button for 9 wasn't even an option. Weird. So I took the stairs down, and sure enough, there it was, room 909. But something felt off. The hallway was too quiet. The air felt thick, and the room itself, it smelled like old furniture and something faintly metallic. I shook it off. I was just tired. The real problem started when I noticed the closet door was slightly open. Not wide enough to see inside, but just enough to make me feel uneasy. I hadn't touched it. For a solid 5 minutes, I stared at it, debating whether I should close it or look inside. Eventually, I grabbed my bag and forced myself to ignore it. I just needed sleep. But the second I turned off the lights, the closet door moved. Not much, just an inch, like something inside was shifting. I froze, eyes locked on the dark gap. Then, a whisper, right next to my ear.
"You shouldn't be here."
I lost it. I bolted out of bed, flipped on the lights and ripped that closet door open. Nothing. No one. Just an empty space, and a faint smell of hospital disinfectant. At that point, I was done. I grabbed my stuff and left the room. I didn't care if it was 2 a.m. I was getting a different room, but the hallway wasn't the same. The doors all looked identical. No room numbers, no exit signs, just a long, dim corridor stretching way further than it should have. I turned back to room 909, except it wasn't there anymore. I should have seen my door right behind me. But it was gone. The hallway was shifting. I ran. And as I turned the corner, there she was, the receptionist, standing perfectly still in the middle of the hallway, staring at me. "Sir, you need to go back to your room." I opened my mouth to protest, but something in her eyes made my stomach drop. Because they weren't normal. They were too calm, too knowing. Like she'd seen this exact situation happen before. The next thing I remember, I woke up in the hotel lobby, flat on my back, staring at the ceiling. A security guard was standing over me, shaking his head. "You had a bit of an episode, sir." I sat up, dizzy. My clothes were wrinkled, my hands were shaking. I had no memory of leaving my room. The front desk lady, the same one from before, walked up and smiled like nothing had happened. "Would you like to rebook your stay?" I noped out of there so fast, I forgot half my stuff in the room. "So, yeah, I know what you're thinking. This guy lost his mind. And, well, you wouldn't be wrong. Because here's the part that messes with my head the most. Room 909, the haunted hotel, it wasn't real. Turns out, I was never in a hotel. I was in a mental hospital. See, 7 years ago, I had a breakdown, work stress, bad sleep, probably too much caffeine, and I got admitted to a psychiatric ward for temporary evaluation. I just didn't realize that's where I was. In my mind, I had checked into a hotel, but in reality, the front desk lady, she was my nurse. The key they gave me, it wasn't a room key, it was a patient wristband. The creepy, numberless hallway, just the hospital corridors, and the closet I wasn't supposed to open, it was an empty medicine cabinet. Basically, my brain redecorated the whole place to make it feel like a hotel. I woke up one morning, expecting to grab the free continental breakfast, only to find myself in a hospital gown, sitting on a psychiatrist's couch. She looked at me all calm, clipboard in hand, and said, "So, Mark, let's talk about this hotel you think you stayed in." And just like that, everything snapped into place. Looking back, I'll be honest, at first, I thought they were messing with me, like some kind of elaborate prank. But then I remembered, I never actually checked out. I never saw a bill, never packed my bags, never even left. I was just there. And room 909? It was my hospital room the whole time. Fast forward to today, I'm completely fine, or so they tell me. No ghosts, no haunted hotels. But the weirdest part? Just last week, I was back at the hospital for a checkup. You know, just a routine visit. And while waiting at reception, a nurse I'd never met before walked by, looked at me, and smirked. "Hey, Mark," she said. "How's life outside of room 909? I swear, she was just messing with me, right?"